Muscogee County School District. This is the year. Are you ready? This is the year we dream bigger, reach higher, and achieve more than ever before. This is the year our students unlock new skills, explore new ideas, and grow into leaders of tomorrow.
This is the year I learn how to read.
This is the year we celebrate success, one student, one classroom, one milestone at a time.
This is the year I attend middle school.
This is the year for teamwork, creativity, and discovering passions that last a lifetime.
This is the year we finally made it. We are seniors.
This is the year to help students believe in themselves and redefine what is possible.
This is the year I get to inspire and equip all my students to achieve unlimited potential.
This is the year to stand side by side, families, educators, and neighbors, lifting our students higher than ever before. Muscogee County School District, this is our year, and we are ready.
Raise your hands, let the spirit rise. The sky's not the limit, just a bigger prize. Muscogee County, this is our year. Hearts united, crystal clear. Believe in our schools, our students are flame. Together we rise, we're changing the game. Chalk on the board, ideas in flight. Every classroom glowing with a brighter light. From the courts to the fields, the art to the stage. The passion of youth breaking every cage. Lift the banner, let it wave so high. This is our moment, no need to ask why. Muscogee County, this is our year. Hearts united, crystal clear. Believe in our schools, our students are flame. Together we rise, we're changing the game.
Seemed like that song cut off right before the end. Good evening. Welcome to our regularly scheduled board meeting, August 18th, regularly scheduled board meeting at 6 p.m. I want to welcome everyone here, and I do want to say that I'm going to jump down and recognize our visitors while I'm talking. I'll be off the agenda for a minute. I want to any administrators or anybody on the leadership team at your school, if you would just raise your hand. We want to say welcome back, and we'll hear from Meef in a minute here, but I also want to recognize Alan Harkness from our library. And is Mary Ann not here? Okay. Is there a representative from the museum standing instead? Okay. And next we will go to our inspiration, Ms. McCrae.
My apologies for not submitting it in time for y'all to see it, but it is a good one for back to school. It says, "Let us remember, one book, one pen, one child, and one teacher can change the world," by Malala Yousaf. Thank you.
Oh, very nice, very nice. And next we will have our scholars from Matthews Elementary School to do our Pledge of Allegiance And our character word probably. Hi.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our character word for August is positive attitude. An attitude is a feeling or way of thinking that affects a person's behavior. A positive attitude is a state of mind that envisions and expects favorable results.
At Matthews Elementary School, we have a positive attitude when we practice PAWS. PAWS stands for personal best, act responsibly, work and play safely, and show respect.
Good job. We ready to introduce ourselves? Okay, if you pick the microphone back up, and you're gonna, each one of you, you can start on the end, and then go up and down, up and down, up and down. You're gonna give your name and your teacher's name.
My name is Tessa Judge, and my teacher's name is Miss Reese.
And your grade.
I'm in 5th grade, too.
5th grade.
My name is Allison, and my teacher is Miss Wen.
My name is Kinsley, and my teacher is Miss Wen.
My name is Lily, and I'm in Miss Gardner's class.
My name is Raylan. I'm in 5th grade, and I'm in Miss Gardner's class.
My name is Penny. I'm in 5th grade. I'm in Miss Reese's class.
My name is Sydney Williams, and I'm in 5th grade in Mr. Bell's class.
My name is Addie, and I'm in the 5th grade, and I'm in Mr. Bell's class.
My name is Chelsea, and I'm in the 5th grade. I'm in Miss Gardner's class.
My name is Allie. I'm in Miss Lewis's class, and I'm in 5th grade.
And we have with the students. And you're proud principal, Miss Green. Thank you. And all the parents and supporters, we like to wave at you. Thank you for all that you do in supporting your student. We appreciate you ladies. Great job with the cheer. And you're gonna go out and be sure to take a picture outside, okay? They already took their pictures. Should have known. Good job.
Good job, ladies.
Good job, good job. So I need a motion to approve the agenda. Motion by Mr. Cantrell, second by Nikki Tillery. Hand vote. All in. We're waving. Hand vote. All right. All in favor? All right. Thank you so very much. I need a motion to excuse Vanessa Jackson. Motion by Ms. Frey, second by Ms. Tillery. All in favor of excusing the absence of Ms. Jackson? All right, that passes. You know about Ms. Chambers? She's probably running behind. All right. Then I've already done the welcome for our visitors. And I do want to, we had some tragic news with a student from Kendrick High School, class of 2025, passed away. And it may have been some others. He didn't make it to move-in day at college. So we want to just have a moment of silence for all of his friends and the faculty at Kendrick High School. Thank you so very much. Next, we will have our district-wide recognitions.
No, Harvard Fellows. Harvard
Just
Fellows.
one? Harvard Fellows first?
Yes.
Thank you, Pat, and it is my honor. Thank you, Pat.
Got it.
There it is, there it is. Very good.
Okay. Thank you, Pat. We are, as always, it is my honor to represent the Muscogee Educational Excellence Foundation and present you with your 2025 Harvard Fellows. Also joining me tonight are some folks from our MEF board that I would like to introduce. Tasha Moorman, who is our Teacher of the Year from 2023 and is now at Mary Buckner, your newest elementary school, and so we're delighted that Tasha is on the MEF board right now serving as our teacher representative, and Will Thompson from Synovus, and also with the staff of MEF, Karen Cook and Andy Luker, and so we're delighted to be here tonight to recognize our incredible Harvard Fellows. I know I'm a PR person, and so I always use a lot of superlatives, but this class is a stellar class. And if you tell anybody else I said that, I will admit it. Because, I mean, they are just incredible. They are, as frequently happens when they come back from Harvard, they come to see us, and they are evangelicalized about public education in the great Muscogee County School District. They are known at Harvard. When they come in, they know that they're from Muscogee County. But when these ladies and gentlemen got back from Harvard this year, they immediately started sharing what they had learned, what they had discovered with their colleagues. They've already, I think all of them have already done professional developments for their colleagues at their schools, and we will begin to roll out even more this year. And so it's my honor to present to you. You're going to hear from three of them a little bit about what they learned, but I would like to just name each of them now. Annette Gephardt from Rainey McCullers, and if you'll just raise your hand there, good. Okay. Casey Brown from Eagle Ridge, Stacy McClary from Winton, Christy Akers from Northside, Nicole Ruiz from Britt David, Magnet Academy, Brent Sutherland from Diamond Magnet Academy, and Robin Robinson from J.D. Davis. Katie Buckley from Blanchard Elementary is not here this evening. She tested positive for corona. So, but you're going to hear from Annette Gephardt and Nicole Ruiz and Robin Robinson tonight. So with no further ado, your Harvard Fellows.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis, members of the school board, members of MEF, my fellow Project Zero cohort, and everyone else. I'm Annette Gebhardt. I teach social studies at Rainey McCullers School of the Arts, and this year I'm teaching 6th, 9th, 11th, and 12th grades. Also, Stacy made me give you a sticker, so you might have a sticker. I blame it on Stacy. I gave these out to my students, but also gave them out at Harvard. It's just kind of a fun, light thing. That's my catchphrase, love you, mean it. My students know that, and it's true. All right, I'd like to start the story about myself. My husband is a career changer. He's here with me tonight. After a 30-year career in the restaurant industry in which nights and weekends were the norm, he's now a teacher. He teaches business and CTAE at Rothschild, go Falcons, where I started my career in Columbus. One of the great benefits to this new world is summer vacation together for the first time in our 36-year marriage. We've taken advantage of this by taking driving vacations. He drives and I'm moral support. So we have visited Canada 3 times, New England twice, and last summer we visited Yale to see what they know. Get it? Harvard. Okay. I told my students you would get that. And later, we were approaching the exit to Harvard after visiting Yale, and my husband said, "Do you want to go? Do you want to see Harvard?" And I said, "No." I said, "I don't," because I knew that the next school year was when I was going to get to apply for the fellowship, and I said, "I don't want to do it unless it's real." And then it was real. And so to my great astonishment and gratitude, I was accepted and absolutely had the time of my life. I was surrounded by educators from literally all over the world. We had a teaching, study group. We had a study group, and in that were people from LaGrange, and there were people from Taiwan, and there were people from Lebanon, which I learned. One girl sat down and talked to me on things I didn't know, and I teach social studies, so I was really excited to talk to her. So we made new friends and experienced more than I could possibly remember. A word that we use is driftwood. So I can't bring everything back. I didn't remember everything, but I tried to remember a few things. There were actually times I just was so in awe of being there that I would touch the table. Like, this is a table at Harvard, and I'm sitting in a chair at Harvard, because it meant that much. It was that great that we just, I'm from Delaware. How did I get to Harvard? It was just amazing. So I'm going to share just a little of my driftwood. I'm approaching what I like to call the twilight of my career. I'm not the youngest out there. I have fewer days ahead of me than I do behind me. Did I say that right? But I want to go out strong. I don't just want to go out and, well, I'm just waiting until retirement. I think I'll get there. I want to go out strong, and I want to still inspire my last class as much as I did the first class. So while going through the notes I took while I was there, I noticed that the first thing I wrote was a definition. And this was the definition. It was by Tina. And it said, hope, certainty of why we were here. Now, that hit me because hope is my favorite word. Hope is everything. I have notes on some plaques on my wall that talk about hope because it is absolutely my favorite thing. Hope drives my faith. Hope drives me to invest in students. Hope is the certainty that they can do what they set out to do, and I'm one of many teachers who can give them the tools that they need. One of the many courses I looked most forward to, I know you're not going to believe this, was learning from and through hip-hop. Now, I don't look like a hip-hop person. I'm a little old maybe for that, sorry. However, I promise not to bust a move in here. Thank you. I told my students you'd laugh at that too. I practiced it on them today. So I wanted to take this class because I want to narrow that gap. My students keep getting younger, and I just don't. I keep getting older, and so I just really wanted to have something because I need to make those connections. I can't rely. They don't get my Brady Bunch comments anymore. They don't understand. They don't get happy days. They don't. So I have to find new things that I can use to connect with them. So we learned the history of hip hop, how it's an art, and we learned the phrase brash creativity, and I connected with that instantly. So MEEF, thank you. Marquette, Andy, everyone at MEEF. I can never be able to thank you enough for that. The experience, I can't put it into words, but what I can do is use what I've learned to finish my career strong and instill hope and brash creativity in my students. Thank you.
All right, good evening, Dr. Lewis, Muscogee County School Board, and guests. My name is Nicole Ruiz, and I'm a first grade teacher at Britt David Magnet Academy. So actually, a little over 10 years ago, I was still a senior at Columbus High School with plans of going to UGA. And even though I left Columbus for college, I always knew that I was gonna return back home to teach, and I'm so glad that I did. It's been very rewarding. One of the many blessings has been that it's allowed me to connect with the Muscogee Excellence in Education Foundation, also known as MEEF. So thanks to MEEF, I had the privilege of attending Project Zero classroom at Harvard University with 7 other phenomenal teachers. And if I could sum up my time at Harvard, I would say the experience was a beautiful representation of how teaching is both an art and a science, in my opinion. On my first day, I also attended a class all about hip-hop pedagogy. We learned how to take the artistic elements of hip-hop and apply them in our classrooms to create a culture of grit, community, and resourcefulness. In the pedagogy of play class, we learned about simple machines by creating our own right then and there, and we completed a design challenge. My group designed a simple machine that would launch a paper ball across the room. So we were having this much fun as adults. Just imagine how engaged our students would be if we took these ideas back home with us. I also attended classes where it became pretty metacognitive. We were at Harvard after all. So we did a lot of thinking about thinking. One of the classes challenged us to think about the questions that we ask our students. Are we asking mostly closed questions where we're kind of trying to steer them towards a certain response? Or are we asking as many, if not more, open questions, really trying to dig deeper? A common theme throughout the week was to really think about what it means to truly understand. Do we ever truly reach understanding? So research was shared about ways to make thinking visible, which can be done through a variety of thinking routines. Harvard reminded me that yes, as teachers, we are artists. On day one of our careers, we opened our sketchbook, we began creating. We erased some lessons that we probably don't want to remember that didn't go too well. We maybe even changed our subjects, and we probably colored in some things that are ingrained in us now, like our teaching philosophy and teaching styles. But we're also scientists too. So we're sharing research. So as soon as we got back, we've just been sharing things that we're trying out with our students. We're experimenting with new ideas, and we're constantly analyzing ourselves to continue improving. Project Zero empowered us to do that. It empowered us to use our creativity and expertise to provide refreshing learning experiences for our students. Participants came from across the country and around the world. They were lacking in the Pacific Northwest, so if anyone has any friends from that area, they said to send them their way, because we're missing their perspective. But just imagine how much change can happen if we all returned to our respective communities and just shared what we learned. Imagine how many students we could truly reach. So thank you for sharing a little bit of my journey to Harvard with you all, and thank you again to me for the opportunity of a lifetime.
All right, good evening, everyone, to Dr. Lewis, our board members, to MIF, thank you so much, and everyone in their respective places. So I first want to, I am Robin Robinson, and I am a 5th grade math and science teacher at J.D. Davis Elementary School. Before I can talk about what Harvard meant for me, I need to tell you who you sent to Harvard first. I think telling you who you sent to Harvard will help you understand the impact that it had on my life as well as the students that I teach. So I am and this was in my Teacher of the Year paper, but I am a survivor of a teenager at 15 years old whose mother could not afford a place to live and was told that I had to go live on my own. So I could have been a statistic. I could have gotten into so many things, but I had a destiny. And so at 15 years old, living with different people, running away from one house to the next because one house wasn't treating me right. And, but I made it out of all of that. I graduated from college. I have a specialist degree now. So this is a 15-year-old who lived on her own and made it. So I wanted to share that. There's more to it, but I just wanted to make sure you understood that I could have been a statistic. I didn't have to be here, standing here before you at 15, living on my own, going from house to house, trying to make it work at age 15 because I had nowhere to live. And so now, being selected as a Harvard Fellow meant so much to me because I remember being at double churches when Mr. Eric Crouch was when he won Teacher of the Year, he would always talk to me about this process and what it takes to even get this far. And then Dr. Nikki Ball, another person from double churches, they would always talk to me about this process. And so I remember being Teacher of the Year in 2019. I didn't make the top 10, but as I was at J.D. Davis and I got Teacher of the Year, I just began really just studying different people that I met that was a top 10. I never talked to them about it. I never told them I was watching them everywhere I went, but I just began to study who they are, their stories, listen to it. And then I told myself, in 2019, you were afraid to tell your story. But this time you got to tell it because when you write this paper, whoever read it going to feel the story and they're going to understand why you became a teacher in the first place. And so I just want to talk about two things that this process did for me. The first thing, it created a personal impact on me as an educator by giving me a mental shift in my mind to be able to see learning differently. See it as more of an inquiry-based, collaborative, and student-centered. And what I mean by that was, I believe that going to J.D. Davis, of course, you serve a lot of underserved students. And so sometimes when they don't have the knowledge, you spend so much time teaching at them, trying to make sure they get it, and you forget to bring them into the teaching process. And when I got to Harvard, that's what they kept talking about. They kept talking about you creating this culture of thinking where you were teaching with the students and not at the students. And that stayed in my mind so that when I got back here, I began calling all my coworkers like, y'all got to try this. Y'all need to do this. We got to stop. And they were like, can you calm down a second? I'm like, no, we have to stop teaching at them and we got to join them in the process. And the energy that I brought back, so many teachers was like, okay, come on, show me. Tell me what you're doing. And so I immediately went in, and just the first day of school, I had like 3 educators implement some of the strategies that I told them over the summer, because we wanted to change the way our students saw education. And so the first thing that I did was, in our study group, we did this thing called Who's in the Room. And typically when you are first day of school, all the teachers, you know, the principal is saying, stand up, introduce yourself, tell your name, what grade you teach. And this study group, we decided to basically talk about our name and what it meant to us. And for me, I thought, wow, I want to introduce this to my students because I want them to think about their name, that their name means something. And of course, I had the silly kids, you know, they would say things, and then I would say, but is that really what your name means? Like, I didn't say, no, don't do that. I said, so you mean to tell me when people say your name, that's what you want them to think about you? And literally in this process, my students started thinking, and one kid literally said, royalty. And I said, why did you say royalty? He said, because I feel like I'm a king. Why do you feel that way? The most important part of this process is now other children are hearing what you say about yourself. So if they say something to you that is not who you are, I always take them back to who's in the room. And they remember we cannot speak negative about each other, because I heard so-and-so say they're a king. I heard this student say, I'm strong. And we remember that. And so now, every time somebody walks in my room, they're saying, can we do Who's in the Room with them? So just a wonderful way to implement it with my students. And I see how it has transformed the way they feel about themselves. Even if they're struggling with something, they'll say, I thought you were royalty. You said you were strong. That is what Harvard did for us, to create that environment where children feel important and they feel like they belong, which is part of why we, as a district, have this big 2-letter word on everything, we. Because we invite them into the education. It is not supposed to be the teacher teaching at you, but it's supposed to be all of us together in the learning process. And that's what Harvard did for me. The other thing, I've already went into it. It was the direct impact on my students. So another strategy that I began to do was, it's color, symbol, image. This particular strategy is what I learned when I was at Harvard. They took us to the museum, and basically we saw this, this art. And they're like, just tell us what you think about it. What color represents this art to you? So whatever I saw, it was no wrong or right. It was what I saw. Image, what image comes to your mind when you see this art? And then what symbol comes to your mind? So I wrote a poem. This particular poem just talked about a struggling student in 5th grade. I just, created something, and I read the poem to the student. It talked about a struggling student. They were in 5th grade, beginning of the year, and then it talked about how they made it out at the end, and they did really well. And I asked my students, what comes to your mind when you think about this? I promise you, a student said red. Why did you say red? Because red represented me when I struggled in 4th grade, but I believe because I'm in your class, Ms. Robinson, I'm going to do well. Those are the things that we want to hear from our kids. That color representing red, but by the end, she had an image of her going to college, not coming out of elementary school. In her mind, what I'm implementing now in 5th grade, she saw herself as an image graduated from college. That is what Harvard does. Going to this program allowed me to come back with a different mindset and see my kids further than where they are now. So I come in, you're not fifth graders, you're already sixth graders. I tell them who they are going to become so that if they ever face anything in life, even when they leave my classroom and feel like they're not, they can remember, Ms. Robinson already told me who I was. So I want to thank MEEF again for this wonderful opportunity, my entire cohort for just being the best Harvard cohort I could ever ask for. I love these guys. Harvard has caused us to just develop such an amazing friendship as teachers and consistently bring us together. So I love all of you guys, and I thank you. And I wanted to say thank you to everybody. But just remember, our students need to be a part of the teaching, a part of the learning. We don't teach at them. We bring them in and join them into the teaching process. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, MEEF, of course. And, you know, teachers are the forever superheroes. And so we thank you for everything that you do. And I'm glad that we paused to take this opportunity for you to share the experience, because it's inspiring to us as a board as well. So you being named Teacher of the Year and you having the experience that you have through the Me Foundation is beyond words. So thank you. Thank you, Me.
I just want to add, first of all, thank you for your commitment to the profession, to our district, and to your respective schools. Your students are very fortunate to have each and every one of you, just as all the students who have ever had Harvard Fellows in front of them before. And one of the things I find fascinating about this program, you all come back and have similar things about the driftwood and something like that, but it always impacts each one of you differently. And just like our mission statement talks about, we say we're going to equip and inspire all students to achieve unlimited potential. You are the embodiment of that every day. But even with that in mind, you are equipping and inspiring yourselves and your colleagues. And that is really what MEEF is all about, is how you can obviously help students, but to help build that capacity within yourselves and share that excitement for the profession with others and share strategies. It's just amazing. And I just am so appreciative of MEEF for giving you the opportunity, and you, each one of you, for taking full advantage of it. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for the sticker. Did it come with the bag, or is someone else responsible for the bag? Okay. Thank you so much for the sticker. Next, the power of we. Who do we thank for the bag?
Martin.
Okay. This is operations. That's it.
Oh, that's it.
This is operations. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Anderson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good evening. The August 2025 Power We Award winner is none other than LaWanda Gilbert, Shaw High School custodian. Give her a hand as she comes. And let me start by saying that Miss Gilbert received 10 nominations from her coworkers. Her submission reads as such: Miss LaWanda is a pillar at Shaw High School. She arrives early to get to the day started and gets things done so that once students arrive, she can help them in any way needed. She's one of my favorite people to see walking in the door. She's helped me personally in my 5 years of being here at Shaw High School without criticizing me or making me feel less than. What sets Miss Wanda apart is not just her commitment to her work, but the way that she carries it out each and every day. She does so with dignity, grace, and a deep sense of service. She treats every student, teacher, and staff member with respect, no matter their role or circumstance. She models what it means to hold oneself to a high standard, not just in how the building looks, but in how people feel when they enter and walk through the doors. She leads by example, quietly holding others to the same level of care and excellence that she brings to her job every single day. Ms. Lawanda embodies our core values of embracing equity and diversity. She meets people where they are, showing kindness, patience, and understanding, especially to those who may feel unseen. Her ability to connect across lines of age, background, and position is a rare gift and one that strengthens our school community. In everything she does, Ms. Lawanda serves the needs of others, whether it's a kind word in the hallway or noticing a student is upset or going out of her way to support a colleague. She's consistent and has a powerful presence in our school. It's hard to imagine Shaw High School without her. She's a shining example of the power of we. Again, Lawanda Gilbert, Shaw High School custodian.
Woo-hoo. Is there a mic? Yes, ma'am, we're gonna get your microphone.
Just something small I would like to say. I would like to thank Dr. Lewis and all the board members and special thank you for my Raider family. This honor means a lot to me. I am grateful. As we say at Shaw, united we stand, together we rise. And I'm glad to be a part of the Raider family and the Muscogee County School District family. Thank you.
Congratulations. Oh, okay, wait a minute. You have your Raider family here. Any family, other family supporters? Okay. Congratulations to you. Congratulations. That's the end for our district-wide recognitions. Okay. Next on the agenda is our public agenda. No requests this week, but I will go ahead and take the time to read this into the record. All official meetings of the board shall be open to the press and public. However, the board may meet in executive sessions. Speakers' remarks should be directed to the board and shall be limited to 5 minutes. Citizens are encouraged to address items on the board agenda or to initiate presentations of issues appropriate for school board consideration. If an individual desires to speak, they may contact the superintendent's office to be placed on the agenda. The board meeting or the work session is not the appropriate place to address either criticisms of particular employees or individual parent complaints when such complaints and concerns have not been first addressed to the attention of the appropriate administrator for a resolution. Citizens are encouraged to follow normal channels to address individual parent complaints or problems. The following have been made a request, which are none. And so that we will close out our public agenda session and move into our action agenda. Item 1. Superintendent is recommending the approval of Courtney Holmes to serve as director of the Woodall program. Motion by Ms. Chambers, second by Mr. Cantrell. Are there any questions? We're ready to vote now. Did it pop up? Did anybody get an opportunity to vote yet? No? Want us to do a hand vote? All right, there we go. That's item number 2. So we should select close the pop-up. Correct, item number 2. So we have a new system, and we appreciate everyone's patience as we are still transitioning over. All in favor? All right, now we can vote.
Just went home.
Hit record my vote. So we didn't get a record from Ms. Buckner? She's voting in the affirmative. All right, that passes. Congratulations. Ms. Holmes? Dr. Holmes?
Greetings, School Board, Superintendent Lewis. I'm super excited to be here, and I just want to say thank you so very much for the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to working with the students and the families here in Muscogee County.
Okay. Congratulations. In Muscogee County, we like to recognize our families and support system. Are you alone today? Okay. Well, tell everybody we said congratulations to you, okay? Item 2. Oh, now it just popped right up before I even asked for the question. All right, superintendent is recommending the approval of a conciliation agreement with the EEOC. Motion by Ms. Frey, second by Ms. Chambers. We're ready to vote now. Hit record my vote. And that passes. Item number 3 is our board training program, the FY26 training plan for the local Board of Education. Motion by Ms. Chambers, second by Mr. Cantrell. Are there any questions? We're ready to vote now. It popped up. All right, that passes. And next we have our consent agenda. Are there any additional questions about any item on the consent agenda? Anyone? Need a motion?
No.
Motion by Ms. Chambers, second by Ms. Frey. We are ready to vote now. And while we're waiting on the results, all right, that passes. Do want to always say thank you to our citizens. One thing that's great about Columbus are the public-private partnerships. So thank you for all of the donations and the continued support of public education. Dr. Lewis, you have something to, Ms. Buckner? Oh, she's saying give the disclaimer. Because it went so fast, we have a work session, and we each had an opportunity to thoroughly discuss each of these items and ask all of our questions, get all of our responses.
Even those of us who are not here
And so that's why that went really fast, and the consent agenda will typically do that every month. The consent agenda are all of those financial pieces, that day-to-day operation stuff that we support, and how we educate our students and support our staff.
And just tomorrow night is MCSD night at the Clingstones, and our Teacher of the Year, Miss Arati, will be throwing out the first pitch. So it should be a fun night. Go Clingstones.
Yeah. And I think we have some, we know the Heritage, the big Carver Spencer game is coming in. I think we have some parking instructions. Mr. Kendall Mills, you want to tell us about how to enter, because the Clingstone game, there will be another Clingstone game on Friday. Huh? No, for the public, John Hughes, the public, how to enter into, yes, because it's a Clingstone game as well.
Good evening. Yes, at the Friday's Heritage Bowl, the 63rd Heritage Bowl at Memorial Stadium, there's a Clingstones game going on at the same time, so we will be entering off of the Lumpkin Boulevard entrance for parking, but we'll exit out the front or the Lumpkin again. But we will have lots A and B will be for Clingstones. If you're looking directly at the Civic Center, those are the ones to the right, closer to the baseball field.
In front of the ice rink and
the ice
the
rink
baseball
and the baseball
okay.
field. Lot C, which is the one to the left, will be a bleed over lot for the Clingstones parking, but we'll have access to that one. And then everything else around the softball fields is for the Heritage Bowl. But there'll be communications from our communications department coming out tomorrow to all media outlets.
Right, and we do expect, as usual, a very big crowd, and with our security measures in place, give yourself ample time to be able to get into the game.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Buckner, did you hear that? Give yourself ample time. She right.
Oh, she broke it out.
I'm good.
So it was suggested that we ride together. What happened when we ride to make it? It's like halftime when we get there. So that doesn't work either. Thank you all so very much. Anyone else want to say anything? We do have an executive session on a legal matter and a personnel matter. All in favor? I need a motion. Ms. Chambers, second by Ms. Tillery. All in favor? Wave good night. Thank you so very much.
We've walked these halls with heads held high, dreams like rockets touching the sky, books in hand, fire in our soul. This is the place where we ignite every heart, every light. Muscogee County, this is our year. Loud and proud, let the world hear. We'll rise, we'll shine, we'll make it clear. Muscogee County, this is our year. Here. is paving the way. The future's calling, we're on our mark. We are the roots, the wings, the flame. Every victory calls our name. No mountain too high, no road too far. Muscogee County